Hi, this is James, your holistic practitioner, and I'm going to speak about spirit today. I think that the medical model, the model around chiropractic, even psychology, is incomplete. They follow what's called the triangle or the triad of health, which is the physical, chemical, and emotional sides of a person. But what about the spiritual side? I've always thought that the human body was more than what you could just see and measure. The spirit is what cannot be measured. It isn't what you're going to see on an X-ray or a blood test or in an MRI. It is what I'm going to talk about today, so let's get started. Ever have one of those days where you just don't feel yourself? It's like you're out of your body. It's like things don't feel right. You're kind of spacey. You've kind of lost your emotions around things. You're not sleeping right. You just feel fatigued, and your digestion, everything just seems kind of wonky. Well, that's what I'm talking about, being out of your body. And there's a way to test for that. It's a simple test that anyone can do in a few seconds. All you want to do is lay the person down, or maybe have them lay you down and test. You can test with a muscle. Oftentimes when we feel out of our body, things don't seem right. It's because other things are going on, like emotional stresses, physical stresses, chemical stresses, maybe too much electromagnetics in our field. We're not getting enough sleep. That is enough to shift the body out of alignment and what makes us feel like something's not right. I've got a lot of other videos around testing for things like emotional stresses, allergies, blocks to getting what you want, blocks to making money. Really, there's all these things that can go on under stress and under difficulties. I've actually got a list down below that outlines about 36 different things that we can kind of test with muscle testing and find out if something's not working correctly. It's really as simple as yes and no with a muscle test. You lay the person down and you test their strength and see if they're firm and their arm is solid. Now make sure there's no injuries in that arm you're testing. And then you can just touch the back of your fingernail between their eyebrows and they should go weak. That's kind of like the testing point to make sure things are operating. If they go weak in that touch or that response here, then you can move forward to doing these other things. And in that list that I have below, we can go through and get yes and no answers from the body by simply asking and then testing. Another way is to have them speak something out loud and do the test. So really, it's about thinking about things and seeing if there's a response, saying things out loud, or you can even say something out loud and see if they respond or not. And just get a yes or a no. So when we place the hand next to the body like this and they go weak, that basically means they're so stressed out that their chakras or their alignment of their body, their soul alignment is not even lined up correctly. It's almost like they kind of shifted out of their body and they're not really centered anymore. So what we have is a protocol to put people back in alignment. So there's a couple ways to put people back in alignment. First of all, you can just use a piece of quartz crystal like this one here. This is Arkansas quartz. Sometimes you can use other quartz and it should work as well, but typically I use the Arkansas quartz. And you can just make a flower pattern. You do a flower like this. Kind of looks like you're drawing a daisy, and you do it over the person's heart. That should put them back in alignment and put them back into their body immediately. If that doesn't work, then you're going to need to run an ACT protocol for something bigger. Oftentimes people are out of alignment because they're going through something difficult, they're traumatized, they're stressed out, they've been exposed to too much EMF, they didn't get enough sleep, and the body is under a lot of emotional or spiritual stress or energetic stress. Then we have protocols that realign people. So if you look below, there's actually a link to how to test for somebody being out of alignment and how to put them back with an ACT protocol, which is simple as running magnetics on somebody and reading the affirmation, which is basically NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. So that free download below that has the 36 different things that we can check for a person, that's a really valuable tool if you're already into muscle testing and asking what might be wrong. Because sometimes symptoms, whether it's fatigue, allergy, emotional tension, anger, frustration, physical pain in the body, such as headaches, backaches, a lot of those things may not always be the same cause. One day you might have a pain in your neck, and it's from an allergy. Another day you might have the same pain in your neck, and it's because of emotions. So really, everything has to be tied to the cause, and the best way to get to the cause is to do a muscle response test. And that's what my whole program is about, helping people help themselves by learning to do simple tests that can take seconds. It's really about self-help with this channel, and I'm teaching people how to do it step by step with the videos that you can download below on my website. So every test that we're doing doesn't necessarily mean that we have to physically touch a pressure point. Some of these tests, especially around the spiritual aspects of how the body works, is done by not pushing on the body, but actually just hovering outside on their energy fields. What I talk about in my earlier seminars is that the human body is in that square, it's in that four sides. And I know that the chiropractic model and even the medical model, psychiatric model, they look at the human person as a triad. They look at people as physical, chemical, and emotional only, and they're missing out on the spiritual part. And that's what this channel is about, to learn about all aspects of how we can help ourselves, okay? So it's really important to look at the spiritual part of who we are and address those things too with these protocols, which is amazingly easy to check for and do in seconds. In my future videos, I'm going to speak more about the spiritual part of who we are, including things like our light bodies, our energy fields, and our ether. So don't miss those videos. Look for them in the upcoming weeks. The reason I'm making more videos around the spiritual part of who we are is because I've had a lot of clients come to me and they've been to the doctor, the chiropractor, the psychologist repeatedly for years, and they weren't getting better. It's because they were only looking at the physical part or the emotional part of the person, and something was wrong spiritually. Something was wrong with their energy fields, their chakras, their body type was out of place, or their emotions had shifted them out of their operating system. If you haven't seen my video about the human operating system, it's really important that you check that out here, because those are the things that a lot of people don't know about and what makes us different from another person, because we're all made of cells and blood and organs, and we're all breathing and we're all eating and doing the same things, but we're all very different people. We all have our own soul, we all have our own energy fields, and we have our own ether and operating systems. None of this stuff is addressed in the medical, psychiatric, or chiropractic model so much. There are more and more people becoming holistic in those fields, but I want to share this information so that we can educate and learn from the people that taught me, the people that actually went through the actual regular models around medical, and they expanded over the years. There are doctors that have been working with their patients for 30 and 40 years and are now retired, and they've made these discoveries through doing holistic medicine. They've realized that the model that they were taught in colleges around chemistry, nutrition, structural realignment wasn't enough. In fact, I remember Dr. Gertler telling me way back when I was helping him and kind of being in an internship with his office. He had gone through a number of years interning me and teaching me, actually having me in the office with each patient, stepping me through. And he'd tell me that no matter how many times he would adjust these people, no matter how many times he would work through things with nutrition, it wasn't enough. They were not getting better until he started doing the spiritual part of the healing work, the energetic, emotional stuff in the healing work. And I'm not talking about emotions, meaning you sit and talk with somebody and you get, an expression or some talk therapy. I'm talking about releasing and healing people at a very deep level, and it recovering them from profound illnesses, profound chronic problems that were going on for years. And that's what I want to teach people in my videos, is how to help themselves by addressing the things that are simple, rather than going through chiropractic college or going through medical training or going through some kind of psychology program. We can check for simple imbalances on our own in seconds, right from our house, and address the problem with simple acupressure, magnetic healing, affirmations, and touch therapy that releases these emotions out of the body by doing simple things like releasing the ankle, or doing eye movement exercises, or doing the magnetic therapy that we call ACT, which is affirmation correction technique. It's basically speaking an affirmation while you run the magnetics, and it being a way of correcting the human systems and the spiritual and emotional systems that drive who we are. So if you like this video and you want to learn more about the upcoming things, and I'm going to be sharing some really powerful information coming up, I want you to subscribe, ring the notification bell, share this video with other people, get more subscribers on here so people can start helping themselves rather than coming to me one by one. I'm really glad that I'm with you here today. I'm so appreciative that you're receiving this information. I can share this with people in the open public and teach people step by step how to get out of their blocks, how to heal things, reduce their allergies, bring down their emotional states and traumas, and get to a place of having those 5 neo-philosophies that's spoken about in all my videos: the health, the wealth, the good relationships, the self-confidence, and the spirit, the connection that holds everything together. So I'll see you in the next video. I look forward to sharing more. Have a great day.